Welcome back everyone to Let's Play World of Goo. Today we're going to experience some graceful failure. Oh boy, unblocked. I'm your host DeoGenZ, and we have been experiencing, whoa boy, these new data packets that we found in the information superhighway once we turned back on the graphical processing unit. And this is, well, as the title explained. It looks like this socket is blocked. Wow, that's a socket. LOL. ROTFLMFA. What? F? What? Did you know? Somebody, Urban Dictionary that. Users used to wander the information superhighway sniffing for ports just like this. Why is this port so important? To see if they could gain unauthorized access. Oh, the deep web. But sometimes it was a trap. Aha. Government is watching. Brute force might work. But sometimes it requires billions of years of computation. Oh, I hope this level does not take that long. I mean, I know I don't have a 15-minute limit, but come on. Maybe if you strategically slide around the data, it will all fall into place. The total elite sign painter. Ah, alright, well thanks for the tips, my elite sign painter friend. Warning us that brute force might not work. We may be stopped by the firewall that is gravity in this physics engine world. That's probably one of the most enjoyable things that I can say I play video games for, is the many different variations of graphics and physics engines that I can play with. No! Because games to me are, you're going to be retrying this a bunch, so bear with me here guys. Sometimes you have to get the wobble factor in here and just fall in the right configuration, if I could get there. Now, you know I'm not really good at games, but the reason I play games in general is because it's almost like a psychedelic experience, where a psychedelic experience completely floods all of your stimuli. Everything is just completely flooded. Your brain is overstimulated in some cases, especially visually, with just boundary dissolution and things that you cannot believe. Video games are so much like that. They tear down the boundaries every day with what you can do. Even a game that is very, maybe someone would say trite, and is not a good example as how society is supposed to be run. Look at that, I almost caught it with that block. A game like GTA. You know, but still, that is a boundary-dissolving game, because never before could you go around and just randomly jump in cars with no consequences whatsoever, shoot and mow down innocent civilians and cops and all this. It's a boundary dissolver. You get to play and imagine this position in a more realistic way, and with a semi-realistic physics engine. So as physics engines get more complex and more interactive with gaming, eventually you're going to have a hologram simulation that you're completely immersed in, and the physics are going to weird out your stimuli. It's going to do wonky things and effects on your mind. It's amazing that a thing like 3DS exists, where before we thought 3D could really only be seen on a screen with glasses. Oh, get back up there! No! But through advances of technology, now we don't even need glasses. Now it's just something we look at and it happens. Very much so, I believe the same thing is going to happen eventually with holograms. They're going to appear, and we're going to be interactively playing with them through gesture motions and through us actually doing a lot more actively than just sitting down and maybe sometimes, if you have motion, waggling the Wii control. You know, what waggling the Wii control did was increase the heart rate, so if there was an excited boss fight that was already a sweaty-palmed match, all they had to do was increase your heart rate more by getting you to furiously waggle the Wii remote if a boss ever launched onto your face and tried to take health away, which often happened in games like Metroid Prime Corruption. It happened in so many games. It happened in Mad World, No More Heroes. Practically every Wii game, unfortunately, had sometimes gimmicky motion. That's what people didn't like about it. But what it did do was experiment with people's heart rates, and it experimented with what games could do. Now, games can truly change your reality, your true reality, the actual physics engine that you're running in that we call real life. You can change that with games like Wii Fit that actually will let you change your standing, will let you be actually a healthier person, perhaps, and use your body better, be able to access more in this simulation than a weakened form that's always tired all the time has to offer. Because just as you can upgrade your characters in video game worlds, you can too upgrade your own body and mind by filling yourself with reading, doing certain experiences, quests, tasks, missions. Very much so, oftentimes I see video games and life being synonymous in many ways. And me talking while I'm doing this, really not helping. But hey, this is called Graceful Failure, so I need to fails, otherwise it'd be a false title for the video, right? I don't want to misrepresent what I'm doing here. But, you know, that is the great thing. You know, it is so similar in many ways in that it's a simulation, it's a test, it is very many things that we experience on a daily life basis that gets us the dopamine that we desire. But then you have the element of crazy, wacky physics, amazing monstrosities and creatures that you never could really imagine. Their biologies are just too behemithic and amazing to possibly exist on this planet. And so you get to experience facing these great deities and challenges in a virtual realm with sometimes pseudo-realistic physics and sometimes not. You know, I've never played with goo physics like this before. I've had silly putty, sure, but it hasn't been as fun and building material-esque as this goo gang is. No! Oh, not going to restart. We do have time bugs here. That's an advantage of turning on the graphics, I suppose. That was an observation I made last time. But, yes, you know, even with goo mechanics, something that it's a toy, it's a mechanic and puzzle that I don't think I would ever have the money to do the research to find out goo to react like this, nor do I think I'd ever want to create living goo. I don't want to create a blob situation. If anybody's seen that movie, I'm not exactly into doing that with science, nor do I ever want to recreate Pokemon. It's just not something I would like to do. You know, I would like to help investigate technologies into unleashing these holograms on everyone so we can further dissolve boundaries like a strong psychedelic and further enter realities of any choosing that we wish, even more immersively. I would get research for that, but I don't have the money to create these lavished experiences or things that just can't happen. So that's where games really come in handy. That's where I really love playing them. And it's why during this super indie summer, you know, there was a lot of people who suggested playing indie games like Braid and Limbo and Vessel, all great, awesome indie games, but they're very well-known indie games. And what I wanted to do mainly was do indie games that aren't really necessarily known. They're kind of on the outer fringes of indie because of their gameplay. You know, whether it's something like Analog A Hate Story, get in there! Where it's kind of a reading game. It's really like a digital book more than it is a video game, but it's still a phenomenal story that involves gaming practices. Or something as fun and puzzling as World of Goo that I've wanted to play ever since I found it on WiiWare. When something is this good, I just can't resist talking about it. I need to tell more people so they can experience this awesome good time. That's why I tell you down to the T why games are enjoyable for me. But I want to know what you think. Why do you love video games so much?